Hi, this is Gordon J. Alexander. Going to make some cookies today. Hopefully you got the recipe here, and you notice that I tried to make it convenient so you could fold it and just look at it. Today I'm going to make half of the recipe for the bean cookie. This is an original recipe I've worked on. So let's go down the ingredients list. We're going to need 2 cups, but remember I'm going to cut this in half and only make half the recipe. So I need 1 cup of beans, and here are the beans. They're already cooked and chilled, and I'll mash them up. I need half a cup of the processed oatmeal. Now, what I mean by that, that's my oat flour. I simply take oatmeal, and this is Quaker oats, and I put it into a food processor and grind it down to get my oat flour. If you like organic, Bob's Red Mill steel cut organic oats are very good, and I normally would use those, but Quaker's fine. So I've got my half a cup and my 1/4 cup of regular oats. Instead of 2 eggs, I only need 1 egg. I'm going to use half a cup of half and half. Instead of vanilla, I'm going to vary this just very slightly because I found this and tested it, and it's pretty good stuff. Oh, it's hiding from me. This is McCormick's, and it's vanilla, butter, and nut flavor. Vanilla, butter, and nut flavor. I do like to use pure vanilla, and I like the Watkins brand. I think that's one of the better vanillas on the market. Half a cup of chocolate chips. In this case, I cut the recipe down, and I'm going to use 2/3 of a cup, and I'm using the Nestle chocolate chip chunks. Now, a good variation for this recipe is these Heath toffee bits. You can get those Heath toffee bits. You can use half and half, or experiment and come up with what you want. If you want a little sweeter or a little chewier cookie. And then we've got blueberries. And in this case, I'm using Welch's frozen blueberries. I've let them sit out for a while. And I'll be putting 2/3 of a cup. Now the recipe calls for 1 cup, so you'd think I'd use half a cup, but I wanted a little more blueberry, so I'm going to use 2/3 of a cup. So we've got our ingredients. Next thing we're going to do, we want to whip the egg in all the wet ingredients. So I'm going to put my cream, my half and half, into my bowl. Put my egg in there. Whip that up. Woo! Whip it, whip it, whip it. Now, what I like to do is this. Calls for the mashed beans. I like to put my beans in there, and they don't have to be perfectly mashed down. So I'm going to add my beans to that. Kind of mash it around, mash them down a little bit. Like I say, if you got whole beans, now if you don't want the bean as prevalent, what you do is just mash them down with a masher. But this works just fine. So I got that, my beans in there, and got all my good stuff. I'm going to put my flour, put my oats, get out of here, put my vanilla, come here vanilla. In this case it's not real vanilla. Okay. My cocoa powder, I already had that in there. I cheated a little bit. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take my blueberries, add them to the wet mix. Whip that around a little bit. I got beans and blueberries in there. Beans and blueberries. That's kind of what it looks like. So you can see a little bit better. Now, probably what would have been a better way, or a different way to do it, is to fold the blueberries into the end. I don't mind mashing them up. Some people like for their blueberries to be that. Doesn't matter. Okay, I've got my dry ingredients in there. I'm going to give them a stir. add my blueberry bean mixture to it. Stir that up a little bit. Add my chocolate chips. And there's what you get. Now I'm going to take the camera over to the stove and I'm going to cook it for you in real time so you can see exactly how they come out. Oh, did I mention the ice cream? Oh, I didn't mention the ice cream. This is the bean ice cream we made last night. Did it the old-fashioned way. We've got an ice cream maker. This is electric though. It's not really old-fashioned. You got to put the salt and the ice in there, and then the electric motor turns it. When I was a kid, we used to have to make ice cream by hand. That'd tire a kid out. I think that's why we did it. This is very, very tasty. I think it's excellent if you were to add cherries to it. Buy some frozen cherries if you're going to make ice cream. That was 2 cups of beans that made this, I'm going to guess, probably well over a half a gallon or a big super quart of ice cream. And that ice cream, let's see here, pretty good stuff. Okay, let's go to the stove and make our cookie.